Hi, and welcome to ESTA Live. I'm so excited to be hosting this particular show today because it's with two of my favorite people, Joni and April. We're talking about women in esports. So, before we get started, I'd like you to put in the comments your city or state, and we will just give you a shout out online. So, I won't have them introduce themselves yet. I want you to put your city and your state in the comment before we get started. I'll just warm you guys up in the meantime. How are y'all doing? April and Joni, how are you two doing?
Good.
Thrilled to be here. Thank you so much for the invite.
I'm so dying to hear what you guys have to say about this topic. As you know, when we did a poll before the conference, women in esports polled the highest as to what folks were coming to the conference for. I was very surprised, and that was across both genders, not just women, voting, men were voting as well. So that was very interesting to me. So I know, and I keep seeing that topic trend everywhere. So I know it's a topic of interest, perhaps because there are a lot of issues surrounding women in gaming, which we're going to get into. But for now, I'm going to give our audience another minute or so, and then we're going to jump off. So if you are watching, please put in the comments your city or your state. It's 1 p.m. Actually 1 p.m. Eastern. So if you are watching and it's after 1:30 Eastern, you are hashtag team replay, and we promise we will respond to your comments even then. So, all right. So we're seeing the ESTA people. Tell us your city and state. Okay, I think that's Lindsay just reminding everyone. So we're gonna actually get started. And we'll just have people just catch up as they come along. So, April, welcome. And Joni, welcome again. And it's a pleasure to see you guys again. I enjoyed so much. Hi, Julie. I so much enjoyed your topic at the conference last month, and I'm dying to delve into it a little bit more. I'm going to show a brief clip in a second, but I want you guys to first introduce yourself, and we'll go with Joni first because she came to the studio first. So Joni, we'll start first with you. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing and what group you're with. And we're going to also have that posted in the comments so people can get a hold of you both. So go ahead, Joni.
Great. Thank you so much. So I'm Joni. I'm the CEO at Women in Games International. We are getwiggy.com, and we are Get Wiggy on all social media, so come check us out. We are focused on getting more women into the global games industry on the professional side. So we are tabletop gaming, video gaming, esports, just a full gambit of the global games industry. And we want, entry level all the way up to C-suite. So we have mentorship programs, we have professional development workshops, we have resume review, how to have difficult conversations, negotiating your salary. We're kind of an organization built on the idea of if only I had known X when I was younger. And we're building all those programs around that to help people coming up or trying to get into the C-suite have that, that skill set and have that information available to them.
Awesome. When you think of gaming, I'm thinking of C-suite and how to negotiate your salary. So that's very interesting to know that, it's such a broad topic. Women in gaming, we're thinking women who are playing video games or playing whatever these games are, but there's so much more. And I want to get into that some more. Thanks, Joni. Okay, April, how about you? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, yes, thank you so much. I am thrilled to be here again. I'm April Welch. I am the Associate Vice President for Strategic Initiatives at the Illinois Institute of Technology. I know that's a mouthful. What that means is I get to build new things from scratch. And one of my favorite initiatives that I've ever worked on is our esports initiative. And very much like Joni, we are looking at esports in a broad sense of the word. And we are focused on not only the gameplay and path to pro and really, building a competitive home for our gamers who go up against other colleges, but also a broader community. So we have a great connection with our politicians in our area. Alderman Dowell has been amazing, and with private industry. Scott And Scott and Chris are building a facility called Surge, 4 blocks from our campus. We'll be able to use that for our gamers and for our community. We're starting the Bronzeville Esports League. So we'll be teaching folks that gaming is not just gaming. Gaming, as Joni said, there's shoutcasting, there's marketing, there's accountants, there's, everything that you need for a professional sport of any kind, you also need for esports. But on top of that, there's a fantastic creator content that allows entrepreneurship in a whole new way. And that's what I'm focused on right now. Our students are really, really civic minded and community oriented. So we have kids that go out into the neighborhoods and teach coding and teach game design and teach Unity. And that's what we're building right now, trying to build a model that can be replicated. It's completely open source. Email me if you're interested. My goal is to share what we build as widely as possible so that there are more partnerships with universities and communities and public schools that can thrive and bring esports to the world.
All right. Now, April gave us a mouthful, and we're trying to keep her in the center of the screen because she moves around a lot. That's why we love her so much. And, I'll just say for myself, because you mentioned Brownsville, and I serve. I think people. I just assume everyone knows me, but I'm Sharon Gill, and I serve as a chief strategic officer and business coach for the Esports Trade Association, and we were just so thrilled to present April with our level up fund this year because we believe so much in what you're doing, and we hope to continue to fund you into the future as well. So as our fund grows, we hope to be able to contribute again. So we just so much thank you. And both of you, I love the entire panel, but both of you have such big personalities. So for me, you both were most memorable. But I want to show a brief clip from the panel. Just 1 minute, and then I want to talk to you guys about it. So I'm going to add this to the stream.
But then they're not included in the conversation. Or if you show up, one of the biggest things is when we go off mic and we start talking in a game, and all of a sudden we're told to go make a sandwich because they can tell that we're a girl. We don't have the same opportunities to say, like, watch your six, it's on your left. We can't jump into the game, so we can't learn how to work together as well. So we don't have the same opportunity to become this amazing esports player. So if you create an environment where we can come off mic and we can actually talk and we can actually start gaming and really become this amazing player, then there's an amazing opportunity to create a co-ed tournament. But if you're not as on top of it, if things are being said, behind the scenes, or if, oh, this is the girl that we had to bring on because it's a co-ed tournament, it's not as appealing. So we're creating these all-female tournaments because it's so inclusive.
All right, awesome. So, Joni, what can you expand on that? This whole sandwich thing really got me right about, okay, make me a sandwich. Because before you answer, I want to just read something to you guys real quick that I saw recently in a post online about women in gaming. And I want you guys to speak to this for me in light of Joni's comments there, right? It says, it's sad to say that female gamers are regularly plagued. This is from a male perspective, by the way. Are regularly plagued with negative behaviors from male gamers. These actions range from sexual harassment, aggressive abuse, and sometimes even graphic threats of harm. Statistics show that 28% are constantly sexually harassed by fellow gamers, and 40% are vocally abused during online gameplay. And they quoted Oppenheim, I guess 2021. I guess it must have been some article by that person. It says, even with these numbers, there are still those in the gaming community that either refuses to acknowledge the toxicity, seeing it as a harmless fun, or are truly ignorant to the true nature of what a female gamer has to experience. And when I read this, I thought about your comment, Joni, at the conference. So, and I want to hear from both of you, what is going on with that, with this woman in gaming, this toxicity that you describe, or it's being described here, the sandwich maker concept. What is going on there? I'd love to hear.
Oh man, I could talk about this for hours. So try and pull it down. So CSGO was my first esports tournament. And the whole time I was there, I was asked if I was someone's girlfriend or someone's sister. Like I couldn't just be there because I wanted to be there. And there's definitely, some games that are much more toxic just because that's kind of the environment that was created and accepted. And then there are some games that are now kind of coming out that are creating a new opportunity for entry. For instance, Valorant it's not, you can't, with CS:GO specifically, it's very much like the boys club, and there's kind of this mentality, even the names of the teams and things. It's very much kind of built into what that game is. And now with new games, there's kind of a new opportunity to set the stage and really redefine who can be involved. Who's going to be able to play. So there's a lot more opportunity right now, I think, to rebuild who is seen as the player, the normalized player. The sandwich comments for sure. Coming off mic, even playing an MMO, even where it's not you and your team necessarily. It's more of a guild feeling, or more of a like a raid where everybody's working together, but it's not specifically sort of the esports side. It was interesting because my husband tends to play a female character, and I would tend to play a male character, just because I got tired of the harassment. I got tired of people just coming over
Wow.
and offering to give me a free in-game currency if I just did took off my character's clothes or something like that. And it's like, it's a character, it's a tune. Like, really, is this really?
Wow.
So I think there's a lot of he would make it into a joke where you said, they're not acknowledging that it's real or that it's happening. They're not acknowledging the level of psychological, impact that it has. He would laugh, and he would take the currency, and he would be like, who cares? It's a tune. And I'd be like, but that's my tune. That's my theme. And that's my girl. So I think there's a lot of, it's just a game kind of mentality. There's a lot of, he just said it because he is a troll, and you just dismiss it. And it's not something that should be dismissed. This is serious. There are real threats. There are people who stop playing because somebody found their home address and mailed them something, just to let them know that this is the access I have to you if you upset me, or if you beat me in game.
That's beyond even what this article is suggesting. This is real time, and I don't want it to be all about what's bad about women in gaming, because there's a lot of great things too. I just do want to acknowledge this, though, because as this article said, right, from a male perspective, it's not even being acknowledged, right? It's being excused. It's not even being acknowledged. So I'm so glad that someone, your husband obviously means well, but even there, sometimes men are not sensitive to like how this feels, how it's being received by women. April, what's been your experience? Is it similar or different? What's been your experience? And those of you who are watching, please, put your comments or your questions in the feed. We'd love to answer those for you online.
Absolutely. Yes. And I see Julie does the same work I've done. So hi, Julie. For me, again, I have sort of a lovely microcosm of college gamers, and my kids are very, they're really committed to community right now. So that my little microcosm, like when you ask me what my personal experience has been, my personal experience has been wonderful. Our students are supportive of our female gamers. We need more of them. We do all female contests. But broadly, I think what Joni said is so important. These characters are not just characters. These are beings that they've built over years and years and years. They represent tens of thousands of hours of this person's practice time, their money, buying skins for them. They are so connected to the characters that they play. So then when they go online and they get attacked, or their character gets attacked, it feels like they are being attacked, like literally. Like they are being attacked. And I think that is something that people who are not connected to gaming don't realize, that how deep that level of connection to your character is and your guild. Like people who play World of Warcraft have been playing with they're like families. They've been playing as a unit with each other for years and years and years. Same with, that, like Joni mentioned, Valorant. That's an awesome game right now. And it's, again, building community, inclusive. And I think as we move forward, and we get more women who are actually designing games and mods of existing games. League of Legends was a mod of an existing game, and it's the biggest esports game ever right now. Dota 2 also, same thing. As we mod, oh, there's Kevin Fair. As we get to be, as women get to play a role in the building of these games and what is rewarded within these games, where maybe it's not kills that are rewarded. Let's reward collection of something. Let's reward other. There's a lot of influence that we can have that I see in the very near future. So right now I would say use this, and this is what I tell my gamers, because it's not just the women who get attacked, the men get attacked too. And I tell them, use this as a training platform. It's a simulation. It's emotional training. Figure out what you need to change in you to make that not push your buttons. I want your buttons to be unpushable, your chain to be unyankable. I want you to use this as training to build a stronger emotional character. And that is what the value of gaming can give you.
That's a good turnaround. That's actually a good teaching, moment. I think you're right. It's an opportunity to really strengthen up your own character, right? And to which is going to prepare you for the workforce anyway, right? Or to, help you to survive out there. So that's a good point. Now, Catherine asks, is this behavior partly because some male players are uncomfortable around women? What are some other causes? I don't know if that is it, but I'd like to hear from you guys, because here's the truth, right? We're talking about women in gaming. But we all know, right? It's just women in the workplace. Really, it's gaming is just another workplace. It's not a workplace, but it's kind of a workplace nowadays, isn't it? So it's really women in the workplace. It's just that right now with esports and gaming getting so big, we are focusing on it, and there might be a few nuances or a few behaviors that, like you said, someone's showing up at your house and threatening. Like, I know where you live. That sort of thing. The internet makes it so much more accessible for people to actually find us. So it's a little bit more threatening than maybe the general corporate America. But it's, do you think it's because male players are uncomfortable around women, or could it be other causes?
I think that's an amazing cop-out. Yeah, I think that's a really cool thing to hide behind. I'm just uncomfortable, so I'm going to make you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's not just women, like we've said. It's LGBTQ identifying people. It's non-binary people. It's anybody who sounds different. You sound like maybe you're from a different area or have a different background, and so I'm going to poke fun at you. I think the biggest component we're seeing is acceptance. If you are gaming with a bunch of friends, you make fun of somebody, and all of your friends laugh, it's acceptance, and that's the norm now. If you're watching a streamer and you're watching all these streamers who are, saying terrible things on Twitch or on YouTube, and people are laughing and the comments are going crazy because people love drama. I think it's that acceptance and that promotion that this is funny and that this is acceptable and that this is the way this game is played, or this is the mindset of the player who plays this game. I think a lot of things that April was saying, that's my bread and butter. Like, if we have more women in C-suite or women owning the studios developing these games, the female protagonist becomes more somebody that I can relate to as a female. It's not just that she has big boobs and therefore is the woman character. It's that she has, compassion, she has empathy, she has all of these strengths, all of these, these things that she can do. You don't have to be necessarily a tank, maybe, or maybe you are, Brianna of whatever with the Game of Thrones was this whole new. Exactly. So why do I have to be this petite, cute little girl who, quite frankly, if it was real life, would just topple over forward, when you can actually be a true, female protagonist who's a hero, and it has a depth and character. So I think if we pretend like it's because the little boy is uncomfortable and so he needs to make himself feel more comfortable by making someone else uncomfortable, it's not a conversation that I want to be part of. So maybe, but no.
I would agree. I'm sorry.
No, I want to go back to your point too, to your April that Joni just mentioned, because I was thinking about, as we think about, okay, the positives and the future. I love the idea that you said, what you said about if women were building more games, right? If we were more in the C-suite, if we were more, giving the direction. And I was thinking, gee, man, if there's any VCs listening, you want to fund one of those women, right? I'm serious. I look at what's happening on Netflix with Shonda Rhimes and some of these women who are producing and executive producing and creating shows that are doing well. And just because it's a woman's perspective, it adds something. So I love that thought. And it's another opportunity, right? Isn't it, in the whole woman in gaming space for women, not just to be at necessarily, your guys' levels are one level, but gee, who's creating these games?
Yeah.
That's still male dominated. So that's really a good point right there. Go ahead, April, to your point.
Thank you. Yeah, no, to build off that, well, to answer the question, I also agree with Joni. I think that part of the problem is anonymity, that they've got multiple accounts. They've got the accounts that they just use to just raise and, create havoc and create mayhem. And they do that as a release, as a vent. That's part of the reason, because they're young and often, bored, and they like to rile. That's one of the things. Again, I'm always positive. You'll never get anything totally unpositive out of me. But TL Taylor made a wonderful, wonderful organization called Anykey.org, and they are fighting toxicity in great ways. And they are they're laying the groundwork for women in the C-suite, women doing the game design, women doing the whole structure of who gets paid in these big tournaments. Right now, there's only a handful of games, and even right now, the fighting community games are nowhere near as compensated as the games that are recognized as true esports, and that's a choice. So as we just, the people who making those choices are in the C-suites right now. So as we get more women in the C-suites, those decisions can have different outcomes.
I'm loving this. Now, we spoke a little bit about this, April, that I'm going to ask this question. So call me a mom and a grandma in gaming, right? Because I'm on Roblox every night with my granddaughter. She's 5, right? And I know you're doing a lot of stuff. I was playing Squid Game recently with her on Roblox. But let's speak to us now, too, because I think part of our issue is education and I spoke to April a little bit about this at the ESTA conference, that ESTA educated me when, because I had to work with them as a strategist on gaming and on esports, and I saw the opportunity. But I think there's a zillion moms out there and grandmas out there who think gaming is a waste of time. And April, she sat me down and she said, hey, listen to all the educational opportunities. And of course, you guys' panel was very informative, and so was everyone else's. So how are we going to get past that hump still with the parents who were like me last year prior to ESTA, who were like, this is a waste of time. Go do your homework. How are we getting that education out to parents? What are you guys doing about that to get us to buy into the future, really? I mean, esports is growing so rapidly, and especially minority kids are going to be left behind when you have minority moms like me who believe in that, traditional lawyer, doctor type thing. How are you guys combating that, narrative with parents like myself, who thought like me?
There are a lot of initiatives out there right now. There's an organization called COPE, which is the Coalition of Parents in Esports or something like that. I don't know. Sorry. Check them out. Cope.org.
What's a COPE?
And it's to help educate parents on esports and the benefits of gaming. And there's a huge turn happening right now, especially with, even college education. There are different degrees that you can now get in gaming and esports. I was just on Friday, I was at the launch of the Cal State University Dominguez Hills Esport facility. And it's an incubator focused on getting more kids into esports through college. So you can join the basketball team, you can join, the tennis team, or you can join the esports team. And having that education shows you that it's not just to become a pro gamer or a streamer, or you can be marketing, you can be legal team, you can be, there's so many opportunities and careers in esports. And I think having gamers as parents now too, my husband and I, my son was playing Warcraft when he was in kindergarten because we wanted to teach him how to use a computer. There's so many new opportunities that we didn't have as kids because our parents just didn't get it. Now I did because my dad was a huge gamer. My mom got sucked into Tetris hard. And so we played a lot of games in our house. But, not all parents or not all kids have that experience. So I think there's definitely a shift that's happening right now. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, when someone as tough as me, who was just very traditional, when it comes to education, when I had to realize, wow, this is really happening, and now really trying to learn it even more from my granddaughter, she's going to get a different upbringing than my own kids got, even though they were just gamers themselves. It's an awakening for us. So, so if I can do it, I'm sure every other mom can do it. So April, what do you have to say?
I think actually, well, I want to thank Jeremy Packer for mentioning the Bronzeville Esports League and you, because that's parents are going to be part of our biggest mission. And and actually you, to be honest with you, our moms who turned, who can tell the story that you say.
Yes.
Like, last year I would have pulled them off the control.
Absolutely.
This year, that's going to be our biggest advocate. But
Yeah.
for my personal journey, what I tend to do is I show my actual students who have paid off their loans gaming. I show my little godson who just turned 15, who just earned $10,000 in a few months gaming with his profiles. I show the joy that gaming brings to their life. I just show the community. And I always say that all the things that you need to be an elite gamer, you need to be a great college student. You need to be able to work with a team. You need confidence. You need to be able to communicate. You need to be able to really get your message across, to manage your time. You need to be able to force yourself to practice. My gamers memorize things faster than anybody else I've ever met.
Wow.
They type faster and they're done with their homework faster. They're great. Their GPA, our esports team GPA on the average is higher than the norm.
Wow.
And they have that same sense of community that keeps people in school, that retains them because they want to play basketball. That same thing's happening because they want to play League, because they want to play CSGO or Overwatch or Valorant. We've got 13 titles that we play. But we're unique in that way because our school is focused on community rather than like elitism. And, really, we've got 4 different teams at 4 different levels that play League. So anybody who wants to play can play. We have our elite team that goes up against other colleges, but we don't tell anybody no. We give them a way to grow and a way to get better. And that's part of the lure for coming to Illinois Tech, is that you get to hang out with all these really cool gamers and learn. And we're going to work on some workshops for parents to just sort of show them the path to profitability for students who are really working on video editing because they want to do highlight clips. They learn After Effects because they want to make their clips pop. They learn the ad structure for Google because they want to have ads. They learn YouTube. So they learn a lot of business skills around setting up their esports persona, not to mention their Twitch presence. Their Twitch presence is huge. And that's
we're streaming on Twitch right now.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Garvey, I need Garvey to call me.
Well, we're almost at the end, but I do want to answer 4 questions. I'm going to have you guys answer 2 each, right? So at the end of the quarter, companies do what they call a SWOT analysis: strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So I'm going to answer some questions as it relates to women in gaming. So I'm going to give you 2, and I'm going to give you 2, Joni. So, and 30 seconds to answer. So April, strengths. What are we expecting for 2022? What are the strengths now of women in gaming? What can we look forward to? What's trending? What's coming up? So tell me some strengths. Women in gaming.
No, I think the strengths are more women are in the offices. More women are planning events. More women are in charge of what actually gets released. More women are gaming. Younger girls, little girls are gaming from the start. So the playing field is going to be even because there is no physical advantage for being male in gaming. And that is huge. That's the biggest strength that I can say is the only advantage is psychological right now for our current age, but that is not the case for the kids who are 5, 6, 7. They are right on par with their brothers and their cousins.
Awesome. All right, Joni, similar to April's question, she talked about strengths. The other word I want for you to touch on is opportunities. Maybe be similar, but can you add anything? What are the opportunities for women in gaming 2022?
I think there's so many opportunities. The sky's the limit, especially we're coming from the professional side of things. So more people in new studios, more people in old studios, just changing management, seeing the game from a different perspective. There's so many opportunities. There's, like you said, there's no reason to not move forward with a woman in a new space or within the same space and having that new perspective.
Love it. April, your last question. Threats. What are the threats?
I think the biggest threat is ourselves not believing that we can do this, not grabbing it by the horns and saying, this is my space. I own this game. I've got an idea for a great game. I'm going to do whatever it takes to make it real. I think we've got the power. We cannot claim victimhood. We are in a space where all of the resources we need to excel in this area. We are building the metaverse right now, and we are a part of this. This is not a us-them situation right now. So I think our threat is our own thinking, and all we have to do is change our thinking and embrace the fact that we have everything we need to make it huge in this space.
And to clarify what April is saying, we meaning women, the women who are in gaming. And then Joni, my last question, similar to April, she talked about the threats. What are the weaknesses? The weaknesses of women in gaming right now?
I think the weakness is thinking that we have to just be like squads are amazing and women's squads are incredible and so powerful, but there are allyship opportunities. There are, opportunities to learn from people who have already done it, who have already been there, and who are facing similar issues or frustrations or setbacks. So using the people in the area, trying to do it by yourself, I think is the biggest weakness, is trying to think that you have to be in your head, you have to trailblaze, you have to be the one to do it first. There are people who have pieces to that puzzle, and you need to be able to reach out to those people and ask questions and learn and grow and not be afraid to not know the answer every single time. So I think that would be my biggest weakness. Same opportunity, right?
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. So last 30 seconds, April, just speak to your final comments to, a woman in gaming, or how to best engage with you. 30 seconds.
So again, the most important women in gaming right now are moms. Moms who have daughters who are playing. I need my moms in the world to let their daughters play. I need my moms to let them envision themselves as game designers, as computer scientists, as engineers, as tech comms, as lawyers who connect with gaming. There's just so much there, and I really that's the biggest thing. That we got to kill that negative sort of vibe that you're wasting your time when you're gaming.
Yeah. Well, we may have to really do a lot more, though. I don't think we're doing enough for the moms. And I've been saying this, we're not doing enough to educate the moms. And that may be something as an opportunity for you guys, because if you guys can get the moms, you have it all.
Yeah.
Because we're the biggest influencers still, no matter what anyone says. If you can get the moms and the grandmas, you've got it. So, all right. So that's going to be on you guys' agenda. Joni, your last statement as you speak to the woman in gaming and who you want to engage with you.
I just want everybody to feel like they belong. So I don't care if you haven't played the game for 600 years or if you haven't played the game for 600 hours. If you're interested in gaming and it's something that you enjoy and you want to pursue it. If it's animation, if it's accounting, it's a really fun, work hard, play hard mentality. It's a really great industry to be in, regardless of which seat you're sitting in. I just want people to get away from the idea that you have to just be entry level. There's no reason that you can't be in the C-suite, regardless of what your background is, regardless of where you're starting. Really setting that goal and finding a way to achieve, from where you are to where you want to be and building that bridge.
All right. Ladies, on behalf of Esports Trade Association, I really thank you guys. And I just want to say to the audience, right, this is a member-only live. I only interview members. And so I invite you to be part of the Esports Trade Association, because this is the kind of talent that we have here, speakers that we have at our conferences. And I really appreciate you guys. I learned so much at the conference, and I learned so much again today. And I'm getting definitely warmer and warmer into esports and gaming. You need some more advocates like myself. And so I just want to thank you on behalf of all of us here at ESTA for just your enthusiasm, what you bring to the space, and for actually showing up today and being here with us. So thank you so much. And until next time, take care, everyone.
Thank you.